I chose to do my presentation on body image and what the media tells you you should look like because I've seen the effect the media has on my confidence in my body image and also on other people and their confidence in their image. So what influences body image in the media? Well, the big thing is the amount of time we spend on media. Americans spend about 250 billion hours watching TV every year, combined as a whole. And the average child watches about 20,000 television commercials every year. In those commercials and on TV, there's so much influence of what you should look like. Now, the other part of media that we spend a lot of time on and get this image from is social media. Medikix, an influencer marketing agency, calculated the average time spent per day on YouTube is 40 minutes. Facebook 35, Snapchat 25, Instagram 15, and Twitter 1 minute, compiling to a lifetime of about 5 years and 4 months on social media, receiving messages about what you should look like, along with other things, as we know from this class. The Dove Soap Company did a study on social media, and they found that in 2014, women wrote more than 5 million negative tweets. 4 out of every 5 negative beauty tweets from women were about themselves. They didn't do the study on men, unfortunately. Here's a quote I found, and it just states that the image that we are told is right and proper and supposed to be what we are, it's totally off. It's very unrealistic. This is a quote for women, and this is a quote for men. Both of these ways that we're supposed to look are very unrealistic and almost impossible to meet. A lot of the technology today is used to create these images, and it's hard for people to take in that this is what they're supposed to look like when they feel like they don't all the time. So do people really look like that? 82% of women felt the beauty standards set by social media are unrealistic. That's from the Dove study. What happens to people who suffer from insecurities in their body image? Well, a lot of times they have eating disorders. They sometimes purge to maintain weight. They sometimes get into excessive exercise. They can have anxiety from not looking right, depression, and also a actual mental illness which involves obsessive focus on perceived flaws in appearance called body dysmorphia. Now, how should we really look? If we take media out of it, does it really matter what we look like? Well, ultimately, how you look is up to you. What do you want to look like? When do you feel your best self? Do you need to raise self-made standards of what you want to look like to get to where you want to be? Ultimately, the decision of what you want to look like is up to you, and where you feel the best is up to you. We know that Heavenly Father looks on our hearts and not the outward appearance. So, where do you want to be? How do you feel your most confident self? Because how you feel about yourself when you look in the mirror, it has a big impact on how you interact with others and your confidence. So, every day, you should be able to look at yourself in the mirror and smile and love where you're at and hate nothing about yourself. So if you aren't there, what are you willing to do to get there? Set standards for yourself that are far from the media's standpoint of what you should look like. because you know what you want to look like, and Heavenly Father knows you perfectly and how you should look. So the media has a lot of false misconceptions in it about body image, and we shouldn't be trying to mold how we want to look to fit the media's image of what we should look like.